Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on this wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous Saturday. I really do want to appreciate you guys for coming out here, or at least hopping in on your phone. I notice Primo W. Thank you for watching us at work. I hope you don't get in trouble. But tonight it's going to be the Platinum Division, Aether versus OwOSA. I am the Loud T Rex, joined here tonight by Amara. Amara, how are you doing tonight, homie?
I am doing good. How are you, Latrex?
Man, I am ecstatic, excited, all the words that you could use with an E to show that you are, having a relatively good time. So, Aether v. OwOSA. Aether is currently the number 3 seeded team in the Platinum Division. OwOSA is number 2. Now, last week they did have a bit of a hiccup as they lost to Monarch, which is currently ranked 4th in the league, fourth, which would be the last place in the league. Knowing what you know about these teams, what do you think we're going to be expecting tonight?
I really don't even know what to expect. I was here the other day, and it was just a complete 180 from what I thought happened, and so I'm gonna do it again. I'm not gonna come in with any preconceived notions. Whatever happens, happens.
Alrighty, so we're going to be starting off here first. Going to wait until Boot gets the thumbs up so we can go ahead and get started, show you guys a little bit of this action and the showcase for tonight. We are going to be having the team captains, Ruby against Nassif. Nassif being the team captain for OwOSA, and the main tank, Ruby, will be the team captain for Aether and is predominantly the healer. Is usually, I usually see him on the Ana. I think I see him usually on the Brigitte nowadays. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I know
I'm going through this phase right now where Mercy is it. There is no other healers in my eyes. She is Bay, and I don't know what else you're talking about if you're naming anybody besides Mercy. So,
Jag, you're not getting named. We already know. We already know. If people have been following us for a very long time, we already know that Frost is still in the front lead and still haven't lost a damn match to date. So
yet.
True, yet. And that's the thing. People still have to remember that during the playoffs, that is the match that counts. So it doesn't matter what impressive record Frost has, if OwOSA or Aether, depending on who ends up in the number 2 spot, ends up winning that playoff match, that is it for their championship. So be aware.
This will be our first playoffs ever, right, Latrex?
It will be our first playoffs ever.
And is Plat the only division with 4 teams?
As of right now, yes. As of right now, they're currently the only one with 4 teams. We do have a few more in queue getting ready to get started. So coming season 2, there are going to be more divisions coming out with 4 teams. And as the server grows and we start getting more and more members, we're going to have even more teams for people to contend with. So if you would like and have hopes that you would one day want to be part of this, go ahead and fill an application. So Eichenwalde, first map of the night, and we are going to be playing very open spaces, a lot of nooks and crannies that you can come into. I mean, primarily Goat's composition is still dominant in this meta, but I mean, I've seen a lot of good work. Sheeps does a lot of good job here as her Hanzo or McCree. You'll have Miss able to run in that front line. Nat has a solid tendency to play that Widow, and you have people like Mars that are able to play the Genji, and so on and so forth. I mean, we'll be seeing here in the next 5 seconds just what exactly they're going to be considering in terms of running this, and we'll see. And we're going to be seeing, it looks like it's going to be a 2-2-2 combo coming out here from Aether.
I would be happy seeing anything other than a 4 DPS, which I lost to tragically on this map earlier today. So as long as it's not that, I will be happy.
I always feel like that's so much more frustrating with having 4 DPS, because that's just damage coming from all sides if they could do it properly.
It is, especially on this map where they not only can damage from all sides, they're literally on all sides because of the way this first point is set up.
Oh man, yeah, they can just swarm on in. So we're gonna have Shazam running as the main tank here for the side of For the side of Aether, Naseef Khan will be taking up the mantle as the main tank here. And I'm loving this. It's a 2-2 composition, so we're going to be seeing a massive, crazy test of individual skill in order for them to start getting their picks and shots in. So Naseef Khan running in up into that front line, taking a few shots. Shazam runs on in with that Diva barrier. Thank you for the cheers. I will go ahead and mention you here in a second. Oh my god, Naseef Khan just gets absolutely deleted. However, Shazam is just unable to do much of anything, as it looks like it's going to be Aether having to back off, or just a little bit. They don't have a lot of room to give up. They can still hold quite a bit of ground right now.
I am curious as to the hidey hole Junkrat in the back.
Hidey hole Junkrat?
There is a hidey hole Junkrat.
Alrighty, so both teams are getting ready to consider where they're going to be, and Naseef Khan looking to try to get that left lane, and he's going to be followed a little bit here by Mars, but he is going to go ahead and commit a quick suicide. So I'm not essentially sure what's going to be happening. There's just I don't know what's really going on right now.
I believe we are waiting on a pause or restart as or kill cam is on.
Ah, I get it. Okay, that's what was going on. Alrighty, so Boot, go ahead and send a reset on that one, please. Alrighty, so that pause is going to be coming into effect, and that's Rith sending some love here for Aether. Thank you for the cheers. It's really appreciated, and I'm sure Lucifer is going to be trying his absolute darndest in order to make it work. So we are going to be coming in for a hard reset. It seemed that the kill cams are still on, and that really, really puts things up in a very, very odd way.
I swear it says right on my settings that it's off.
It is the kill feed is off. That is what seems to be the
Oh, kill feed,
not
the kill cam. Gotcha. We didn't. Okay, we're gonna save this.
I pretty much live with tab pressed in this game, so I don't watch the kill feed, but
I did have a quick little fire I had to set out with my son momentarily, so sorry about that. And I'm back. Okay, are we ready?
All good. All good.
Go us back into icon. Oh, you're putting us into Ilios now.
Oh no! Sorry. Shit.
It's all right, man. It's all right. Hey, it happens. You know, these things happen.
Back it up.
Yeah, these things happen. You're only human. You make a little bit of mistakes, but Real Boot is going to go ahead and reset that so we can get this party started off once again. And I'm really hoping that they stick with that the 2-2-2 compositions. I really enjoy watching them, at least from a spectator's point of view. I think to me that is the most interesting.
Well, have you heard the rumors of a forced 2-2-2 going around?
I've heard of it. They're trying to really enforce that, like they're trying to force that in like a locked queue almost. If
I don't want that personally. As tired as I get of certain comps, the more characters that we get added to this game, the more those comps will become less of a we have to run this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and so locking in a certain 2-2-2 or whatever it is, I think will ultimately be detrimental to the game once more of those characters comes out.
Yeah, I think the initial concept that Jeff had, where he wanted to keep, you know, all compositions viable, because that's the thing. A lot of people complain that, you know, you either run goats or you're throwing. And the thing is, goats isn't the end-all, be-all solution, as much as Crunchbite wants to, you know, say. As much as he wants to say, as much as he wants to say that is usually the solution, it is primarily because of its high win percentage. However, as long as the opposing team understands their win condition and can play appropriately, they can win around these things. They don't have to, you know, they don't have to stay into the brawl. You can use a Far Mercy. You can use different compositions in order to work in ways that you want it to. Is it a lower win percentage? Yes. But it doesn't mean it's going to fail 100% of the time. And I feel like locking in that queue is just, it's going to really limit the game in ways that, I don't know, I don't think I'd really be into.
I agree, and I think a lot of it, yes, it's winning games, and at first that comes about because nobody knows how to counter it, or because people aren't ready for it. And then we move into is it so successful because people are afraid not to play it when it's not their best. And so I don't think it's necessarily that comp is just the end-all, be-all.
Ooh, and Lucifer does get a little sneaky, manages to take out Mars before he could really do anything. And we're just seeing the initial battle. It's just really a poke damage battle right now. Nat trying to get an angle here on Lucifer, and he knows he has the advantage right now as the rest of OwOSA does start getting themselves ready. So here we go, Naseef Khan running up into that front line, and they're just starting to swing away. He does have the anti-day. That's going to be huge here as that Ana is, Dank Monkey on that Ana looking to try to help out here, and they're still trying to figure out what angle they're going to take. They've got to be careful here, though, as the ultimates are going to start coming online. Shazam, though, is able to back up here quite a bit, and now they're just getting the battle underway here onto the point. No picks just yet, but K10 does manage to take out Mars, and that's going to be huge. That's a lot of damage potential that they're going to be missing. Here we go, as they're still trying to use that terrain to try to minimize and mitigate the damage, but Mist falls off, and that's just going to be it, as it looks like OwOSA is just unable to continue this. They have to back off and try again.
OwOSA came in, and the second that Junkrat started breaking down their shield, they kind of got scared, it seemed like, and they were afraid to go around the corner. And when you're going against especially a Junkrat, waiting is not what you want to be doing, because that's just more damage that he's going to be putting out.
Yeah, those you can really only do so much when you have a Junkrat really just tossing all this nonsense at you. So,
they're going to have to just push through that choke and just either focus the Junkrat down quickly or ignore him.
Alrighty, but it does look like the GOAT's composition is going to be coming out here on the side of, it's going to be OwOSA. Sheeps does manage to finish off Naseef, and Lucifer picking up too. Nat going to be completely out of position. Misses the only one, and here we go with yet another pause. I think someone's getting DC'd on this one, though. And I mean,
I have no comments. That was a beautiful tire. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, there's
and I don't know if it was in relation to the request for the pause, but it was a good tire. He did back out, and ultimately, even without a pause, when you see a Junkrat who's been laying into your team for however long that first fight was, which was pretty long, and you don't see them anymore, and you're not taking that damage anymore, you have to expect that he's going to ult or he's doing something cheeky.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a very common thing, or a very common thing for a lot of players. It's like they're missing something, but while they're starting to run in, there has to be like a mental thought. You know what I mean? You have to consistently think in your head, well, I haven't seen X ultimate yet. You know what I mean? Like if you're about to engage into a fight, you're about to drop some ultimates, and you know they have a Zenyatta, you need to pop it in your head and think, have they popped Transcendence yet?
Exactly, and there's a lot of characters that you will oftentimes see leave the fight in order to ult, and Junkrat is one of them. Another big one is the McCree. If I don't see Sheeps, if I haven't seen Sheeps in the last 5 seconds, I'm preparing for Sheeps to come around and just destroy me and make me cry with ult. And that goes for any McCree, but especially Sheeps. Because there's just certain characters where you have to set up like that, and if you're not prepared for it, it can come and bite you in the butt.
Ooh, right in the booty cheeks. So here we go. Gonna get started again on this. Ruby managing to take out Mist, and it looks like that's a big one. Drips does get DC'd, so he's gonna lose all of the all charge that he had towards his Graviton, and things are not looking good here for OwOSA right now.
Like I said, they just have to push through it. If they just have to stop being afraid of the Junkrat and either get on him and take him out, or act like he's not there and hope that he's not putting out that much damage.
I don't know. Lucifer is known to be a hit scan. Here we go. Naseef Khan does get taken out, and now we've got an angry Shazam swinging away. Oh my God! What a huge shatter! Managing to get the entirety of the team. That's going to be the end for that push, but that was absolutely terrible here, as the pick on the Rhine is going to be done, and the spawn advantage is still available in the hands of OwOSA. They may be able to capitalize on this.
It is, but if you also notice, they just used their Transcendence, and Sips T is still holding Grav, and that can be absolutely devastating.
Oh, and Lucifer's got to be careful. Going to be caught out of position as the Rhine battle's starting off, and oh, that's just terrible. The hammer down does come on in, looking to save. The High Noon comes out from Sheeps. Oh, manages to pick up 2 here, and now Sheeps is looking to work her way on in. Tyre does come on out, and he's looking for a pick, manages to get it on Drips, and now Mars is trying to stay alive with Nat, but the entirety of the team is able to come back. Nat can't seem to stay into that battle. She either has to go back or die, and went straight for a hard reset. We're running into the 20-second mark. They've got to make something happen, and fast.
And Sips is now on that Hammond, which is just... Spin to win is absolutely obnoxious to play against here, especially with so little time on the clock.
Alrighty, here they go. Lucifer's got to be careful with taking those fire strikes to the face. And here we go. OwOSA has one chance to make this work. The ultimate does come out. And now Shazam is able to rush out in there. Oh, and that might have been too early here on the side of OwOSA to make anything happen. Naseef Khan does charge in, but maybe to detriment. Here comes the ultimate. Looking to come on out. Getting onto the point is just a little too high. And it just seems that the Aether hold is going to be suffering right now. Naseef Khan is still in that front line, red over blue here at this point, and Sips T is just trying to spin to win here. Ruby is going to get caught completely out of position, gets taken out by the Rhine, and that's going to be it for it if they can't finish out Sips T within the next few seconds. Yep, and there goes the hamster. OwOSA managing to come back from what could have been a quick map 1.
They were just messing with us. They were just messing with us. They planned to take it the whole time.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a good game.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, here they go. And Lucifer up in the sky, well, in the high ground, looking to throw in some damage. And that's going to be a lot of damage that he can take, but that's going to be on Nat. If Nat can really eat up as much damage as humanly possible. He does have that ultimate available, and they've got to be careful. Sheeps up onto the top, looking to try to get a pick as Shazam's tries to get into that Rhine. And oh, the Jabate does come on in, extremely heavy. Here comes the tire, managing to get one. The High Noon does come out, and that's going to be big as Dank Monkey does get taken out. They're still building somewhat of an angle with Sips T working his way into that front line. He's got to be careful, though. Naseef Khan does get grouped on, and Drips has got to be careful here. He's still trying to hold on, maintain some sort of forward position. But here comes the ground and pound coming out from Sips T. The rest of the team on OwOSA coming out to help out. Sheeps landing that pick here on Drips. And the battle is still going in this very weird, staggered kind of way. And it looks like OwOSA is finally going to go ahead and give in and back out to try again.
You know, if they can't get up on that high ground and take out Lucifer, that alone is just absolutely detrimental to their team comp. And the only person they really have that can get up there is Nat. And even with Defense Matrix, if you're not careful, you can get melted by a Junkrat as D.Va.
Oh, and here comes the ultimate. That's going to be huge. The bomb does go off, and that's Nat picking up 2. Great job there. Lucifer is going to be slightly out of position, and the entirety of the team is going to be suffering. Sheeps has got to be careful. Nat building that front line damage as Mars manages to take out Lucifer, and it's going to be Aether sent reeling, as now we have OwOSA coming up to the bridge with 40 seconds remaining.
You know, they found the comp that worked for them, and they switched to it, and they were able to take the point. Now they're just pushing the payload. I mean, it stopped for such a short amount of time that it's like a completely different game at this point.
Oh, and here it comes. That ult does come out. The High Noon looking to come on out. That's going to be 2 here from the Sheeps herself, doing some solid work. And oh, here come the Rhine smacking each other into oblivion. But Sheeps unreal right now with this DPS potential, really reining it in. And it looks like it's going to be OwOSA at the end of this bridge. They can't get in there. There's just the mines offering too much. And that's going to be the end of the offensive push here for the side of OwOSA.
See, this is why I'm so terrified of Sheeps. Because Sheeps, when Sheeps is ready to ult, Sheeps is going to ult. Sheeps can hide behind you and get you. Sheeps can do it right in front of your face. And Sheeps is going to kill you all. And I am terrified of Sheeps. And that's as a 500-hour Pharah player, I will not Pharah against Sheeps. And I've said that before, and I'll say it again.
I feel like those are your absolute nightmares, aren't they? Like
they are
good hit
No,
skins.
it's just Sheeps.
Just that's it.
Sheeps transcends all. Sheeps and Jupiter.
Yeah. Oh man, you remember those days, Jupiter? If you're watching, she still remembers.
Yeah.
She still has that hit on her forehead.
This is the map that I went Sombra and did nothing but focus Jupiter on. That's all I did, and I would do it again.
Fair enough. So it's gonna be Aether's turn to give it their offensive push. How they're going to do it, I'm not 100% sure. Right now, it looks like they're going to be running in on that 2-2-2 composition. They really are going to be trying to maximize the use of Sheeps to try to go ahead and mow down the enemy team. The 2-2-2 composition, however, is still going to be out on the side of OwOSA, with Nat making the switch from the D.Va over to made the switch over from D.Va to the Mei, and then Mars going from the Brigitte to the McCree. So this will be interesting. Mei is totally Mei, and I absolutely love Mei as a character, not as a playable character. No, she.
Oh, I love her. I love playing Mei. Mei is so much more useful than people give her credit for.
Very true. She just doesn't have that mobility. So here we go. The Fire Strike battle does come on in, and Shazam's got to be careful because those orbs are looking nasty here from Mist. Now the entirety of OwOSA looking to back off. They are aware they have people in their back line, with Lucifer putting a little bit of pressure in here. Sips T looking to try to get a solid pick, but oh, this could be terrible here for Sips T. Nat looking to try to finish him off, and there goes Nassif Khan. Oh, the kill does come out here, and Shazam does get taken out, and it looks like OwOSA is just managing to push their way through, and it seems like Aether just can't figure out what angle they're going to take.
I don't know if you saw there, but when people get in the back line like that, a lot of times teams have a real hard time staying together. But OwOSA came in and they all moved back towards the point as a group, and it won them the team fight.
Yeah, I think I was really impressed by that. Watching that, they understand that they have to alter the way they're playing in order to sway the win condition in their favor, especially if they're going to have a hamster in their front lines.
Well, and even with the Sombra coming up behind them, you expect one person to freak out, get separated, and get taken out. And with Sombra on one side and Hamster on the other, they did a really good job of staying together.
Oh, and the first pick is going to be coming out here and not in good form. Nat's still into that front line, and they've got to be careful. The ultimate is available here by Nassif. Great wall there by Nat herself, and that pick does come out. Shazam comes out swinging, and the Transcendence is looking to try to hold on for just a little bit longer, and Nat trying to free Shazam, manages to do it, but they've got a lot of backup to do what is absolutely necessary. Sheeps has got to be careful. She is going to be taking a 2v1. Oh, and the hammer down does come out, but gets absolutely nobody, and this might be the ultimate that saves the entirety of OwOSA. Great job there, Nat, managing to push off the rest of Aether as we're moving down past the 2-minute mark.
Nat is Bay right now, and that was a beautiful, beautiful Mei ult. And if you notice, the reason that Nat was able to throw that ult is because she used wall not to block an ability, not to block, you know, anybody from necessarily shooting at her, but to block off half the point so she could reload and her team could come back together.
Oh, and here they go. They're starting to push their way on in, and Shazam's got to be careful. Does get taken out. Lucifer is going to get destroyed right now from Drips, who has been averaging a ridiculous amount of charge per life. I don't think I've seen Drips below 50% for this entire point.
That is what makes a good Zarya. I mean, you can do a lot of damage on Zarya without charge, but Drift's bubbles are so on point that it affects teammates. That big of a difference in charge can make a big difference, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Oh, and here comes the ultimate. The Nassif Khan does get completely shredded here by the Sheeps. Oh, but here it comes, and Drips is just ridiculous and nutty on this Zarya right now, pushing his way on in, does get put to sleep, but it doesn't matter. That's going to be another reset. The teamwork right now between Drips and Nat is just something ferocious.
I don't know who Drips is or where Drips came from, but Drips, I got my eye on you. There is a balance between bubbling for protection and bubbling for charge, and Drips has that down.
That's extremely important. So here we go. The final battle is underway, and Aether has to make this work. That's going to be an ultimate here, trying to do some solid work. Great job by Nassif Khan, able to stop it. And now we've got two angry Germans just swinging at it. Ruby does get taken off completely off screen, and that's going to be dangerous. The hammer down does come out from Shazam, but great job there by Nat, able to put the sleep in, and that's going to be the end of this. OwOSA stopping Aether with a full hold.
I love that the answer to Sheeps ulting in your face is shatter. Nothing else matters. Shatter Sheeps. Because Sheeps is so deadly.
Oh, but she does get the play of the game for this one. I think this is the bridge clear. Oh, no, it's not. Let's see that. Ooh. Ooh, man, it do some crazy work, boy. Oh, and here comes the tire. Yeah, that's what goes ahead and finishes it off. No, great job there by Aether. They really held their own. The unfortunate part, though, is that OwOSA's defense was just significantly stronger.
It wasn't. You have to realize, just because one team pushed the payload a lot farther, they still got the point at the end of time. So it was still a really close game, and I'm excited to see the next few because I expect them to be just as close.
Yeah, I mean, I notice frequently, like, especially when you play like a comp match, you know, if you don't finish it, there's always that one guy on the team that's like, ugh, why didn't we do, you know, like, they get really upset. It's like, wait, can we get to round 2 and like see where we get? Like,
exactly.
I excuse me, I hear it all the time. Like, we didn't finish it. What's up?
We only took 1 point. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Okay, well then we keep them from taking 1 point. Like, just easy,
and
easy forehead, just full hold.
Full hold forehead. And people don't realize it's not that it's easy, but it's possible. And in a game like Overwatch, you have to consider possibilities. The moment you start shutting yourself out to possibilities, you're limiting yourself from really doing much of anything.
Exactly, and that goes back to what we were talking about earlier about the comp. When people are like, oh, you can't win, you're throwing unless you're running goats. No, you're not. Anything is possible. If everyone is playing their best and the teamwork is where it needs to be, you can run. I have won a comp game on 6 healers. Don't ask me how, because I don't know, but I did. It's possible.
Is that the win percentage for that is probably something really ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure that's the only time it's ever worked.
I mean, it's probably got like a win percentage of like 10%, but you know, it's something.
But it's possible.
It's possible. 10% isn't 0. 1% isn't 0. Even if you can't, like, even if on normal circumstances for almost any reason you can't, there is that possibility that can happen. And hey,
5v6 usually can't win a game, but it's happened. I've been in a game where we won 5v6. It's not impossible. And just highly unlikely.
I see the sun sending some love here to OwOSA with the big patience play. Smart. And he's right.
Hello, the sun.
No, it's too late. It's the moon now.
Oh, and there's a Mal in chat as well. Hello. Hey, that says the sun Overwatch, not the moon. Okay.
Well, it's nighttime here, so we're gonna go with the moon right now.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Stop! I keep thinking of that. Oh man, it's an old country song. But anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a country song. It is a beautiful, beautiful country song.
It's Alan
Don't
Jackson.
hate.
That's it. Hey, I like a little Alan Jackson. All right, I'm not too opposed to country. Jeez.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with country, especially Reba.
Reba McEntire. My wife likes watching Reba.
I have seen her live.
Ah.
She's amazing.
Sounds like a good time. Alrighty, so enough of the country music. Here we go. Moving on into this next match, and we're going to be playing Ilios. So Ilios control map, a lot of movement, no clear lines between attack and defense. Depending on what we see here, we might see some solid goats, or we might be seeing some 2-2-2.
And if all else fails, at least we get to look at my personal favorite map in terms of just how beautiful I think it is, and it's based off of a real place.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's like, it really is like an all-white city. Like, it's very, like, everything looks very pristine. Everything looks really clear. Like, yeah, I'd like to visit.
Absolutely, and well is I think the best example of it. If you can get on a character like Farah and you can just fly around that map, it is just absolutely gorgeous. And a lot of maps are based off of places, but this one is so heavily influenced off of it. It's just astounding, and I love it. It's my favorite map. Not to play, just to look at.
To enjoy. Alrighty, well, here we go. Honestly, Eichenwald is my favorite place to look at, but you know, castles, sieges, that nonsense. Anyway, here we go, and the GOATS composition is going to be coming out here from both sides, and Thoxin coming in the place of Nat, and now the battle is going to start off. Initially, Naseeb Khan does get stunned, and he's going to be suffering, doesn't have a lot of health left. Shazam coming out from downtown, looking to make some solid work happen. Drips does get taken out, and this counter GOATS is going to be exactly what they need in order to make it work. Missed in a bad spot, knows he's got to go, and that's going to be Aether getting this first point quickly.
I love how Shazam was able to come in and just do so much because his team was backing him up, and it was hard to see just because that team fight was so everybody's in this itty bitty space, but he had the backup and it paid off, and he was able to get a lot of kills and a lot of charge for his ult.
Alrighty, here they go, and the Ryans are battling at it once again. Great shields there, though, coming out from O.C.C as the battle's ensuing. Mist does manage to get the pick here, and O.C.C still working to try to hold on for as long as humanly possible. And Steve Khan does go down, and there goes a Diva Bomb coming out here from Mist. Doesn't seem to pick up anyone. Another counter bomb does come out here from O.C.C, looking to sip some delicious tea. Oh no, and he loses his mech. I didn't even know it worked that way. What? What did I just witness? What?
What, losing mech?
Well, no. He used the ultimate. He used the ultimate, and he was calling the mech. He got stunned and lost the mech. So now he has to rebuild it.
It does. Usually you see a diva at that point can just get killed, but you can stun a diva out of mech being recalled. It's just very rare to see.
And the Sun doing the goat spam in the chat. Why are you the way you are? Here they go. The battle's still going, and the ultimate does come out here from the Zenyatta. The ultimates are still coming out. The support ultimate's looking to try to hold on as Mist and the rest of the OwOSA looking to jump on in. And it looks like that Graviton coming out huge and completely clutch. There's only going to be select members here on the side of it's going to be on the side of Aether to survive. Can't seem to make it. They do get taken down, and that's just going to be it. Sheeps is the last one to go, and now it seems that OwOSA does have the point, but they've got quite a bit of ways to go.
There's a couple of big things you have to remember. One, you can out-damage trans, and two, in an open area like this, you can get out of the reach of trans, and especially if you get charged by an Asif, that trans isn't going to do you any good.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter if you have a trans. If you get charged and you have under 200 health, it's going to be game over. Oh, the hammer down does come out, but O.C.C doing some solid work. Good job here on Drips' part, able to eat that just in time, but Lucifer is going to be running that charge here as they have that ultimate available. They do get completely focused down, though. Great job there by OwOSA, able to make that work, and now the Divas do loop their ultimate. Shazam! Oh my god! What did I just witness? Unbelievable! That ultimate stun coming in just in time from Mars, allowing Mist to get that complete team wipe. What is going on? I'm losing my mind here.
I am just in shock. That was the most beautiful break stun I have ever seen in my life.
Oh,
Mars.
Mars.
I have no words.
Mars.
Mars.
Like, Mist got the kills, yes, but Mars. What am I watching right now? Oh my lord.
Obviously, props to Mist as well.
So Mars does get taken out by Lucifer. Lucifer trying to lead that charge, and here they go. The Transcendence does come in, and now they're spending a lot of resources trying to hold on for just a little bit. It's just an absolute brawl, and even with the ult getting dropped just in time, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be in favor here of Aether. They're starting to lose the lead here. O.C.C does get taken out, and we're at the fabled 85% and climbing. They have to make it win or accept the loss. Ruby does switches over to the Zarya, has a lot of charge, has a lot of backup here from K10, and Shazam looking to just charge on in, but it's still not going to be enough. Drips, fantastic work with that shielding. K10 trying to do everything possible to be just a nuisance. Lucifer does get completely melted, and O.C.C switching over to the hamster. They're trying to hold on for dear life, but I don't think they have any ults to really work with. Mist does take out Sheeps, and that's going to be it here for Aether, as OwOSA comes out as the victor, coming from behind.
You know, when you see a Diva Bomb like that, and then in the very next fight, you see one that gets nothing. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It happens. But when you don't have something, or you don't have the ability up to stun that enemy Rhine, he's just going to block the Diva thing. And it's a big thing I notice a lot of people don't do. You can place that Diva Bomb in the middle of the grav. He cannot block it if his shield can't get on either side of it.
Yeah, I mean,
but most people want to throw that Diva Bomb.
I think it's also the fear, like, they don't want to get in there, and then the moment they pop it, they get smacked in the face by a giant Rhine hammer. I mean...
Absolutely. It's a really big risk to go in and do that, but sometimes it's worth the reward.
I guess so, and it looks like they're going out of the GOAT's composition. They're going to be running Boop Central here on this well portion of
Look at all
Ilios.
the Pharah babies!
Yep, the Pharahs are coming out. Lucifer going to be going at it against Drips, and there is only one Far Mercy, though. I'm only seeing one healer, though, on the side of Aether. This is a little unorthodox right now.
It is. I'm interested to see if this was on purpose, or if it was an experiment.
I don't.
Or if they're going to adjust. They are going to adjust.
Yeah, that was a little odd for me. I wasn't aware if they were really just gonna sit on that for a little bit longer than they should have. I mean, they did have
single healer can work, but when your single healer is a Lucio, it's the odds of you getting to the point faster, doing that much damage, moving people off, and it all coming together to work perfectly is just not very high, unfortunately.
Ooh, and we do have a new follower. I can't really read what the font that there is right now, but I will say your name after this match. And see if Khan does get the pick here on Lucifer. Oh, and the pull does come out here from Mist. So, great anti-nade does come in, but there's just not enough damage to really follow through. Drips able to help out, get some picks here, and it looks like Aether is just having a tough time trying to figure out where to go.
Coming in with that single healer, especially without a healer for your Pharah, puts you at a big disadvantage, especially in a map like this where it's just so open. There's really not a lot of places for Pharah to hide and stay in the air, so even with an Ana, it puts you at a big disadvantage, and we've seen Lucifer switch a couple of times now and is on the Genji.
Alrighty, so here they go. The next battle is underway, and it's Tuli Moody. Thank you, Tuli Moody, for the follow. Seriously, we really do appreciate it. So, Shazam trying to find the proper angle in which he's going to go ahead and get started. And they've got to be careful. This Pharah does have the ult available, and Shazam is about to run out of shield. There it goes. Drips does pop that ultimate. Only manages to get Ruby, though, and that might not be that big. The pick does come in. The Seafcon does get taken out. And Lucifer trying to land some sort of picks here, but maybe Shazam might be a little bit out of position. He's getting himself dashed at right now, and Mars does manage to pick up that solid kill. Woohoo, Mars! Easy on Lucifer. That's just mean.
I've always said there's nothing wrong with the solo ult, and taking out their main healer, that Ana, was a big play.
Alrighty, so here they come, and Mars is just doing some crazy work here with the DPS combo of Drips. Looking to try to get that pick here on K10, manages to land it, but there goes the Sheeps, able to do some solid work as well. Drips, though, just fantastic air work, managing to finish him off, and it's going to be OwOSA getting this next point with conviction.
Drips, you on my radar. You're on my radar. Famara is looking at you. I'll never turn down the chance to cheer on a Pharah, as I'm sure all know at this point.
Just look at this. Just look at this. Look at that right there. Right there. Final second. Boom.
Oh! You hate to see it.
You
But
hate
it's so
to
beautiful.
You hate to see it. And
Oh, looks like we have a raid going on right now.
Oh, we do.
Victory.
We do have a raid and some new followers here tonight. So I do want to thank Cythera15 and Ganymede's Girls. Are we talking about the bird? Ganymede's Girls as a follower. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight on this wonderful Saturday night. And all 43 of you in the audience. We do appreciate it. However, we have come and hit the halftime. OwOSA is winning 2-0 at this very second. The question is, can Aether make it? Now, we are going to be hitting this halftime. So, in the meantime, go ahead and grab yourself some popcorn, a few drinks. If you're above the age of 21, a little bit of wine, a little bit of vodka, a little bit of whiskey. If you're kind of weird and you drink vinegar,
Lautra's going hard.
yeah, please don't tell me about that. I don't want to know about people drinking vinegar. Some people do. Some people do some nonsense. But with that being said, we're gonna have Elfie's video coming up here for you guys to enjoy. We'll see you all in about 5 minutes. Mara, you got anything to add before we leave?
Hashtag for Elfie.
Always hashtag for Elfie. We'll see you soon.
The science guy. Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill Nye, the science guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye, the science guy. NANI?
Heroes never die.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
Happy feet. One more combo. That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco. I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street. Look at that wrist.
Alrighty, everybody, thank you for hanging out here tonight. Once again, Ganymades girls, thank you for joining us with this massive raid that you did bring. Absolutely fantastic. I do want to thank the new followers, new people joining us here for tonight. During the break, we did have Rainbows 5 joining us in as part of the O.C.C. community. And if you guys do want to be part of these, we do have player applications, coach applications, and if you'd like to be part of the stream team, go ahead and let me know, and we'll go ahead and work something out. Tonight, I am joined here by Amara as we're watching this ridiculously hectic match, Aether versus OwOSA. OwOSA up 2-0. Amara, how was your break?
It was a good break. How was yours?
Fantastic. I did quite a few things, like sit here and chat with you over halftime. So yeah. And
called out Sniv.
Shout out to Sniv. If you would like, and Nightbot is doing it as well. Please join it, or please follow us on social media, on our Twitter, on our Instagram, Facebook. We do have all of that active. Same thing for our YouTube. So those are going to be extremely important things. But once Boot gets the go-ahead, we are going to be starting off this next set of matches on Horizon Lunar Colony, and that's going to be absolutely huge. Aether has got to make this work. They need this victory.
Reverse sweep.
Reverse
That's
sweep?
what we want to do. We want to go to game 5.
Oh, the legendary, epic, the hardly ever seen, but oh so worth it game 5. And honestly, it really depends. It's going to be extremely huge for Aether. They have to make a lot of these big picks. We're looking at a lot of the gameplay here from OwOSA, and they're very patient. They're very mobile. They know where to move, how to move, and they're very good at manipulating the situation so that it goes in their favor. And I think at higher level play, you have to do that. You can't allow the enemy team to dictate how you're fighting. You have to force it on them, and that's really what you got to do here.
Absolutely. OwOSA is a great example of team coordination. And I don't know how they've achieved this, but clearly they have, and it shows. That and O.C.C. is officially on more social media than I am.
Alrighty, so it looks like we're going to be seeing a 2-2-2 composition coming out here from Aether. Not really sure what Sheeps is going to want to run. She might be sticking to her signature McCree. We're not really too sure at this very moment. I do hope they're not calling for a pause, as we're not seeing her really pick anything just yet. But we are seeing a 2-2-2 composition coming out here on the side of OwOSA. They are going with the monkey composition, which to me is fantastic. I love watching good Winston play, to be honest with you.
Dive is fun to play, it's fun to watch, and I'm really excited that these teams are choosing to not just run Goats, as valid as Goats is, and we're seeing it work, which I love. Goats is not the only thing you can play. Let it be known throughout the lands.
Alrighty, so here we go. The initial battle is going to start, and Lucifer is shooting some stuff in. And I think someone's echoing me for some weird reason or the other. And the battle is still ensuing. Lucifer managing to help get that pick here on... or Mist managing to help pick up that kill here on Lucifer. It looks like Aether still trying to hold tight and trying to get some solid ground here, but they've got to be careful. Naseef Khan is looking for something easy, and it looks like OwOSA is going to back up. They're not going to go ahead and rush in straight in onto the point. Naseef Khan has got to be careful for the kind of damage he is going to be taking. Drips has control of the sky, but has got to be careful, as O.C.C is still available to do some solid work. Ruby does take out Mist, and this might be the end of that offensive push here from OwOSA.
You know, you didn't have Diva in mech there, and that can be devastating if she doesn't have anybody to focus to get it back. And, I mean, they're still in this team fight, but they're down both tanks because of that.
Right. And it looks like Dank Monkey is just going to have to back out. Lucifer does get that pick here, and Mars is starting to push his way on in. And here it comes. Naseef Khan just coming out extremely angry, looking for these picks. O.C.C does get taken out, and despite a long and overdrawn team fight, OwOSA does manage to win the point.
A big thing there is a lot of teams can't find that balance between when to keep fighting and when to back out. And as mobile as the tanks on OwOSA are on this particular map, the rest of the team was able to hold off till they got there, and they won the fight. And a lot of teams don't have that. Can we do it? I think we can. They just say, okay, reset.
Well, I mean, if team captain's sitting there going, winnable, I mean, keep it going, you know. There's really only so much you can do, and you do need to learn to trust, your team captain every once in a while. You gotta have that that togetherness mentality, which I think OwOSA's really starting to capsize on, really make it work. So here comes Naseef, finding Lucifer completely out of position. Oh, but the backup does come out. O.C.C looking to do some solid work. The Doomfist is coming out here from Drips, and the res is going to come out in favor. Naseef Khan does come back, is still able to make things work. Dank Monkey able to fly around and float, able to do just about everything. Here comes a High Noon, looking to finish someone off here, but it's not going to be enough. No picks did come in favor of Lucifer. However, it looks like it's going to be OwOSA getting routed without a single tick in sight.
Now, I think the Zenalt was a little much, but they do have the home field advantage. They are closer to spawn, so I think they can make up for that. But you hear that High Noon, and anybody on either of these teams playing McCree, and you're like, oh, well, that's that. I'm done.
Very, very true. So here we go. The next match, or the next battle is going to be underway. Naseef Khan trying to find an angle in which to come in, but that's just a lot of damage coming out. And here goes the Primal Rage, looking to displace the entirety of the team. Great sleep there from Ruby. And that might be, oh no, the shield, the boop was just completely unfortunate. Doesn't matter. Shazam, though. Oh, looking to try to hold on. This is ridiculous. Zips T does manage to land a triple kill here. And it's going to be Aether still holding on. Wow. Did you see it? Just 2 separate fights. Ridiculous work.
That was a beautiful Diva Bomb.
Beautiful Diva Bomb. And then even though Naseef Khan was almost able to kill Shazam, Ruby popping the nano boost at the very last second, keeping him alive, able to clear out what was left. However, it seems that as of right now, the ult advantage is in favor of OwOSA. They do have Xanthoxin's, the sound barrier able to make things work. So here we go. Naseef Khan starting off with the low ground once again, looking to get up on Sheep. And here it comes. It's going to be the ultimate coming out here from Mars, looking to try to get a pick here, but it seems a little futile. Can't seem to do much of anything. And Ruby does manage to get that pick here. Here comes the Diva Bomb, looking to try to get a few, but it looks like the entirety of the team is able to figure out what angle they're going to take. Shazam has got to be careful, and Ruby getting chased and hunted down, managing to put him to sleep, and that's going to do some solid work. Here comes Lucifer trying to get a pick here. That's not going to be in favor of him, and it looks like OwOSA is finally starting to make waves in ways that they need to make work. So here comes Drips. Just incredible work, looking to try to finish off the rest of the team. He does have his ultimate available coming in relatively soon, and K10 just gets absolutely destroyed. They're pushing their way on down, and Hammer Down comes in, but hits nothing but barrier, does get taken out, and the Graviton Surge does come in. Lucifer switching over, going into the Wraith mode, but it's just too much damage coming on out. The Dragons coming, looking to try to hold into some space, but nobody can get in onto the point. Great job there by OwOSA, able to finish us off. And we're going on into the heavy match here on Horizon Lunar Colony.
Whatever blocked that ult from Lucifer on the McCree was a big play on them. I think it might have been the Diva, but it kept Xanthoxin alive on the Lucio, and they were able to out-heal all the damage that was coming in from the enemy team. The sustain on OwOSA is incredible.
The sustain on OwOSA, yeah, I definitely agree. I think
and it all goes back to teamwork. This team has it down. They know who to focus, they know who to protect, and they move as a group.
Mm-hmm. I think a big attributor to their success is they're also very good at separating the team. And I think that's what's really killing Aether right now, because they're getting in between, like a healer and a tank, and they're able to force it into this engagement where now the healer and the tank are forced in a terrible position. You know what I mean? Ruby now has to decide, do I risk running into the team, or do I have to now take this off angle while my main tank is getting absolutely shredded?
Yes, and I love watching OwOSA because if you watch them from an aerial view, it's like the team is one person and it's breathing. They spread out, they come back together around somebody on the enemy team and take them out. They're not always just all 6 on top of each other. They spread out a little, but they come back. And a lot of teams don't have that coming back together down, and they do.
Hey man, practice, practice, practice is what I have to say there. And I know both these teams do put in their hard-earned hours, but maybe the focus is a little bit better for OwOSA. Not really sure. So this next battle is going to start on in, and they completely avoid the Torb turret, and that Torb turret is going to cause a lot of damage. Sheeps is about to get completely melted. They are forced into a 5v6. Sheeps does take out the turret, but the entirety of her team is already in onto the point. They're looking to try to finish this one off, and Naseef Khan in that back line, making it hell. Mars does get that pick here on Shazam, and it looks like Mars getting all the necessary picks in order to make this particular composition viable. They did shut down that GOATS composition here for the side of Aether.
A big plus on the side of OwOSA on that fight was Naseef coming in and hooking that Lucio. The entire team walked right by that turret. They had the shield. They could have taken it out, but Naseef came in and hooked that Lucio, and it made it immediately a 5v6, because even if he didn't get a kill with that hook, the turret was going to.
Right. So here they go. And the entirety of the team's looking to try to get in on there. Nassif trying to get a pick, and the barrier is destroyed on Shazam. I think he needs to really concern himself with shield, with really holding on to his shield. You really don't want that shield to break on you.
What good are you without a shield?
Very.
That's not true. You can do a lot without a shield, but it is an important thing to have, and if you can't, if it's already destroyed by the time you get to point.
Oh my god, Drips, you
Shields
freaking...
don't matter against a dragon.
No, they don't. Drips managing to pick up a solid set of kills here, managing to land 4 with that ultimate. Drips, the new addition to OwOSA, and is doing incredible work right now.
Drip's coming in, making it sound like what Amara's saying no longer applies. I don't mind it though. It gives me something to be hype about.
All right, so this next battle is going to start off underway. The turret looking to try to demolish some of the shields, but they are going to try to take a little bit of that high ground. And look at the entirety of OwOSA. They're backing up, looking to try to get a better position. Aether starting to rush on in, and it looks like O.C.C just trying to get something. Does get DMAC though, and might be a little bit early here. Nassif Khan still in that front line, and he is going to be in trouble at this point. Does get taken out. The Molten Core does come on out, and that could be absolutely dangerous if they can't figure out what they're going to be doing there. The mech does come back in favor, but that's just going to be a lot of kills here. They just can't seem to figure out what to do with these turrets.
Torbolt has got to be my favorite rework that this game has ever done.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
Because it's so much fun. It's just Molten Core, and just, you can cover such a wide area of a point that it makes it impossible for the enemy team to really do anything, especially squishies.
Oh yeah, squishies melt. Literally. You're on fire and you're melting.
Literally melting.
Alrighty, so here they go, and they realize they're losing their time. Great job here though on the side of OwOSA. Able
They
to
eat on the Hanzo ult.
Oh man. And the fire strike does take out Mars turret, so this might be what they need, but Lucifer does get taken out. Shazam looking to contest against Nassif, and Nassif getting saved here just, oh no, I was gonna say just in the nick of time, but it's not going to be so. And Mars just using that shotgun to his absolute advantage, and it's going to be deadly here. Shazam in a bad spot, does get taken out. Ruby trying to stay as the Zarya, trying to stay alive, trying to keep things working. K10 though trying to stay in there, and oh my god, these finishes are just really working. What is happening? Lucifer's gonna have to rush in onto the point, and that's just gonna be it. He's the last remaining and last one able to do much of anything, and that's gonna be OwOSA taking it home.
You know, you can only ignore turret for so long, and sometimes you have to, but there comes a point where if you don't kill that turret, it's gonna kill you. And that did not sound as cheesy before I said it in my head. But that's exactly what happened. That turret placement on point saved the point. It helped them live through that grab, and it kept the enemy team from regrouping and getting back on point and stalling.
Oh my god. And with the wave at the end of that one, whew. Great job there by Drips. And as of right now, it looks like, well, it doesn't look like, OwOSA is going to be still holding on to their number 2 spot. They do win the overall matches against Aether. So that's going to be great. However, Aether still has a possibility. We do have a little bit more season left. We really only have about 2 to 3 more weeks of the standard season available before we do the playoffs. And then we all get to group up and meet each other and have a absolute fantastic time celebrating and enjoying what is Season 1 and the O.C.C scrims. So
we're just going to meet the baby.
That's it? Just the only
Sorry.
reason?
Sorry, rest in peace. Sorry. But no, it's great. And for those of you that are tuning in that have not been around and don't know how our seasons work, Matrix, is this a who wins the night? Is it based off that, or is it based off of map wins?
It's based off of map wins. Victory. Oh, and we do have a sub, the Beast from the East. Thank you for that sub. However, yes, it's primarily based. Well, it's primarily based on wins, but the map differential does also play into effect. So
okay, so it's not just you won the night 3-2. That's just it.
Yeah.
Each win on a map set actually matters.
Exactly. So even if you do lose 3 and you get the 1, that still counts towards you, and that's positive. That's something to really pay attention to, because you need to have that. Because when it comes to brass tacks and it comes, push comes to shove, you want to have that map differential in order to, maybe that might be the difference between second and third place before you get put into the playoffs.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons, for those of you watching, that we continue on through the night, through our 4th game, instead of just ending it right here. And because that's just the way we've always done it.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you that don't often tune in, now you know.
Now you know. And the thing is, for right now, the playoffs are really only for a week, primarily because of the limited teams that we do have. However, as we start moving on into bigger and greater seasons, we're going to have more and more teams competing in each division, and then we'll be able to run things like quarterfinals, semifinals, and then grand finals in the typical league settings. So those are extremely important, and I'll go ahead and give you guys a little bit more of a breakdown once we get into the end of the show. So we're going into Rialto next, and the final map of tonight. I mean, what do you think they're going to be running here?
I see a lot of things here. I see a lot of Rhinzaria, but I wouldn't count out an Orisa or a Hog, especially for this front area where you can get really nice boops. But I'm expecting. I see a lot of choo-choo-choos here. I see goats, but I do see a lot of choo-choo-choos. You got a lot of great sightlines for Widow, which Nat is exceptional on, and you have a lot of great sightlines for Hanzo and McCree, which we're going to see Sheeps on. So I'm excited.
Jupiter freaking out. It is a Widow map, and he knows this very, very well.
Jupiter, stop. Jupiter, stop. I can't with you. Okay, you make me cry, and you make me want to uninstall. Okay? So, I love you, I do, but I can't play Pharaoh when you're around, so just stop.
Ooh, and Beast from the East gonna be giving Aether Skittles if they do happen to win this. So Nassif Khan is going to be in that main line once again, and I think Aether's taking a little bit more of a reserved approach, standing back just a little bit more to see what the team is going to start with. Nat is going to be playing that Widowmaker to try and build just some sort of backline pressure or getting onto those flanks, but I don't think she can really find much of anything right now.
Coming in on attack as Widow, and Jupiter, correct me if I'm wrong, it takes you a little bit longer to get set up. You do have to come around this corner first, but if Nat can pull it off, I know Nat can hit the shot. So.
Alrighty, well here they go, and Sheeps is going to be playing on her Hanzo, and that's going to be absolutely huge. Now the match is starting. Great job there. Lucifer does manage to melt him down. Ooh, and Nat looking to try to get a solid pick here. Nat looking like she has to back out. She can't really continue onto that fight, and it looks like Sif's team managing to pick up the staggering blow here. Zentoxin dies at the very end of that. So they're going to have to wait until Zentoxin makes his way back to the revive.
One of the most exciting things about tonight for me is seeing that Junkrat. Lucifer, thank you. We don't get to see it very often, and he is putting in work.
He is putting a lot of work. I really do enjoy it, and the buffs do make him a little bit more focused. The pause does come in. So, I mean, it's great work. I'm loving the way Aether is playing this next point. They're not just rushing in. They're waiting. They're waiting until a better time, and they realize that they do have Nat, and what I enjoy about them the most right now is that they're respecting the Widow. Some teams really do not do that, and I don't understand why that is. You know what I mean? Like, there's a Widow, and, and you're like, let's say you're a Mercier and Ana, you probably want to stay out of her sightlines.
Absolutely, but there's up until you get a little into like mid-diamond, it was so 50-50 for so long on whether a Widow was going to pop off or not. Mm-hmm. And not everybody is Nat or Jupiter. And so a lot of people, I guess, got in the mentality that, oh, well, I'm not going to be afraid of her until she gives me a reason to be afraid of her. And I think that mentality is still going on for a lot of people in Overwatch. So if that Widow's not immediately out the gate killing half your team, you either just don't notice her or you just decide not to care.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a failing for a lot of Mercies. They They don't give her the respect she deserves, and honestly, there's nothing more terrifying than a good widow. I bet you know that. I bet you know that pain all too well, huh?
I do. Thank you, Jupiter, for that.
Alrighty.
So crushing experiences.
Alright, so Drips is going to be in the air, going onto his Pharah, which has been incredible work here tonight, and they're going with that 1-4-1 composition. Mars does get that pick, though, on K10, and they're making this work. Shazam is going to get nano boosted, and that's going to be terrible here, but Orvahominy does come on in, and I lied, it's going to be a 3-2-1. Shazam, though, can't really seem to pick a proper angle in which he's going to attack. There's just a lot of avenues for the team to approach on, and this is going to be bad. Shazam doesn't have a lot of health, does get taken out, and it looks like Aether is going to get pushed back. Unbelievable work here.
You know, in an area like that, where there's so many corners and so many people coming from so many different directions, there's a time to shield, and there's a time to swing. And your shield's not going to do a lot of good with a Genji in your face.
No. A Genji or a Tracer who's in your bum. That's a tough one. So here it comes. The dragons are coming out from Sheeps, and she does manage to help secure that kill, but they've got to be careful as Drips is up into the air. Nat is playing the Tracer, so she's a little bit more flanky. Manages to kill that steel trap, and she's got to be careful. Shazam is looking for any given reason to land these picks, and oh, there goes Drips with these kills, and that's the entirety of the team realizing what they have in order to win this. Unbelievable work. Aether having to back off to try it again.
And I don't know if you saw Mars in the background. Mars came in and took out K10 on the Zenyatta, and got in Lucifer's face, took out somebody else, and ultimately got rid of half the team. And so Drips just came in and was like, okay, bye. Last person. My point. It worked.
Yeah.
I have to give prop to Mars for that, going in the back line and not getting melted back there.
Yeah, some people have that tendency. They'll run in, spend all cooldowns as Genji to get into the back line. No way out, and that's just you hate to see it. You really do. Ooh,
Except when it worked.
There goes Mars, trying to put a little bit of pressure here on Lucifer, but Naseeb Khan does get melted. Oh no, and that's going to be unfortunate. Oh man, Lucifer does use that mechanical ability to take him out, and it doesn't seem like Aether is out of the fight just yet. They're still pushing their way back in, and I'm loving the way that they're fighting. They're not giving up. They realize that a lost point is just a lost point. Try it again.
And do you see the big change that OwOSA made in their team comp once they took first point?
Yeah, they switched it to a little bit more of a mobile comp, and it's going to be hard for Shazam to really pinpoint everyone. Shazam is really going to be that front line, but it's going to be a lot on the DPS to be able to win a lot of these fights. So here it comes. Oh, and the ultimate does come out here from Lucifer. Oh, only manages to pick up one, and Drips with a long flank trying to get behind the enemy team, and Ruby is just in a bad spot. He might not want to sit there and stay on this engagement. But here it goes. The team is still just pushing on in, and Shazam does get nano boosted, but he gets anti-nated, and now Drips does have is nano boosted and is looking for some kills, managing to take out O.C.C, and Sheeps, gets taken with a long rocket. Great job there, as OwOSA is just really pushing their way on in.
And we're seeing Naseeb on his signature hamster, which we all know and love him for. And you're right, this is such a mobile comp, and with the way Naseeb gets in that back line and gets out so quickly, it's hard to pinpoint anybody on their team except the healers. And if you can't get back to the payload to get the healers, it doesn't matter. And they do have some pretty immobile healers.
They do. But that's the thing, though. They're putting all of that offensive pressure on them. So they don't have, what's it called? Aether doesn't have that flanking capability. So their healers really don't have much to worry about.
Exactly. And when you have a Pharah in your face on one side, and a Genji, and a Tracer, and a Hamster, I mean, these are some of the most mobile characters in the game. Where do you look?
Exactly. I know, maybe switching over to the Winston may be able to work here. Who knows for sure? But O.C.C getting it caught completely out of position, and right now OwOSA is feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Holy crap!
You feel it, Mr. Krabs? You feel it, Mr. Krabs? You know, it coming into against a comp like that, there's a lot of things you can do if you want to focus those healers. Dive is a great way to try to approach that. Running a Sombra to try to get at least the Hammond, which is their only tank, a little less mobile, is also a way you could go. But as fast as they were moving that and as staggered as they were making the enemy team, it's kind of hard sometimes to step back and compose your thoughts and say, okay, what do we want to switch to?
Right, and I think the way OwOSA really altered their win condition, and I think, you know, if you ever play with Nassif, he's on coach mode usually. So he's always concerned about the win condition, and it's really important, especially when you know you have that kind of composition. You know that it has to be really fast, aggressive, disruptive, and it has to put more pressure on the enemy team than you can on you. Because the unfortunate part is if Xanthoxin or Dank Monkey at any point during those fights were to get the slightest bit of pressure, they would have fallen relatively quickly because they just don't have the capability to escape. They have to stay in some sort of fight.
Exactly, and I've seen a lot of teams try the 3 DPS, 2 kills, and a hamster comp, and it doesn't work because they aren't committed to being that aggressive. They want to hold back as if they're hiding behind a Rhine shield, and you can't play it that way. And OwOSA has got it down. They get in, they disrupt, they get a kill, they get out, and they completely disorganize the enemy team. And that's how you play that comp.
Alrighty, so let's see. Can Aether stay in the standings? They gotta go for a complete map win, and they're gonna have to struggle. This is not going to be an easy map for them.
Coming in on defense here without a shield of any kind is something we don't see very often, so I'm excited to see how they disrupt the enemy on this side of the map.
And I think it's going to be a little bit harder because the spawn advantage is still in favor of the defense. So there goes Nassif Khan trying to get into that back line. He puts a little bit of that disruption, looking to try to get one of the healers out. Lucifer, though, might be in a terrible spot, and Nassif Khan realizes he needs to get out. He needs to get out quickly. That was just a terrible spot for him to be in. But it's a great job here on the side of Aether. However, Mars is still in that backline, able to do just some solid work, using Sheeps against her. Oh my god, what a finish. Mars, you animal.
I was not sure how they were going to make this work, but clearly they're doing it. And a big thing here is we had one person previously to counter this Pharah, and now Sheeps has switched over as well. If they can focus that Pharah down, that puts a big disruption on OwOSA, and even with the mobility of their team, considering where the enemy spawn is, that could put them at a big disadvantage. So I think going 2, maybe 3 of Sombra Focus or counters to her will be a big play for them.
Ooh, and they've got to be careful. The mines are out, but Shazam isn't aware of where he needs to be standing, and Nat does manage to land a pick here. And that's going to be tough. Sips T is in that front line, and Nat knows to respect the sheep. She is not going to get in any distance where she can get flashbang and then right click. That Mick right click is just annoying.
Whoever told Dribs to avoid Sheeps did Dribs a great service.
Oh no, and Nassif does manage to pick up the kill here on Sheeps. And right now it just looks like Aether's having a tough time trying to figure out what angle they're going to take. And Nassif Khan is just being extremely annoying in that back line. Nat does take out Shazam, and Nat is just ridiculous right now, able to land these picks here relatively quickly. She does get out, and here we go. And Aether's just unable to leave this point.
I think a lot of things could be changed here that could help Aether. If they focus that Hammond and they all focus, hack the Hammond, kill the Hammond, that could give them an advantage. And killing the Pharah could also give them a big advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of avenues of damage that are coming in, and I just don't think they have like a singular route of how they're going to do it. The ultimates are coming out, and that's 2 support ults. They're going to use everything that they have to try to get people into their back line. Shazam, and looking to come on in, and Drips does get taken out. The Transcendence finally coming out from Xanthoxin, and that's going to be huge because they haven't forced it out of him just yet. They're starting to make the waves that they need in order to make things work. And here it goes. Shazam might be in a position to really help out the team in an extremely positive way. Sheeps does get taken out, though, by Nat. Great job, Nat. And here comes a Babo. There are no shields to hide behind, so you've got to contend with the Bob. And Bob just doing some solid work. Great job. That Bob just finishing the game off right now. They're getting extremely close, but the mines are right into their face, and it looks like Aether is not out of this fight just yet.
A big part of that fight was that they had to use 2 healer ults in order to push that payload. which it gave them a lot of ground, but if they don't have those back online pretty quick, it can actually keep them from getting the point all the way to the end.
Ooh, and they pop the ultimate. Mars look to try to get some sort of finish, but they can't seem to make it. Xanthoxin does get the pick here on Shazam, and the ultimate does come on out. And it looks like the entirety of the team is starting to back up. They don't have a lot of time to work with. Sheeps does land that kill, and now they're just holding on for dear life. They've got to make it these last 0.37 meters, and they do! Aether is still alive in this match.
Coming in on this Farah v. Farah.
Farah
That's always exciting to watch.
Oh, those are your favorites, aren't they?
They are.
I always feel like as a Farah, though, it's very predatory. Like, you're looking for that poor Zenyatta who's just not in the right place.
I just look for other Farahs.
No, you don't. I've seen you.
I do.
No, you don't. You look for that easy
that's
target.
the most fun thing to do, but yes, absolutely the least mobile target with the least amount of health, always. Especially since you're a projectile hero.
Fair enough, and Nasif Khan does get hacked, and that's not going to be good for him. Dank Monkey does take out Sips T, though, and this battle is not over yet. Lucifer is still able to do some solid work from the skies, and it looks like the res does come in from Ruby. Great job. The high noon is coming out. Oh, and Mars just not in a good place to call home. That's going to be difficult here. Drips does get taken out by the Sheeps herself, and now it's going to be the Monkeys going at it against each other, and Nasif Khan just getting caught in some terrible positioning. He may not be able to make it out alive after this one. Sheeps is still looking to try to find out the angle in which she's going to work. And Nasif Khan getting taken out once again. Drips does pop that ultimate, only gets the kill here on Lucifer, as Aether is still alive in this map.
You know, a big part of that fight back at the corner was Sips coming in and just being so disruptive against Nasif, which ultimately got Nasif to switch, but the Sheeps. I don't know why you added the, but it's deserved.
I like it. I like it. So here we go. Getting this next battle underway. Nasif is playing that monkey, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get hacked by Sips T. And now K10 could be in the worst place imaginable. He has no backup, has to get out of there. Lucifer does drop that ultimate and kill quite a few. He's looking to try to take out Mars, but great job there by Nat, able to do the work necessary to go ahead and finish him off. But it looks like Aether right now is making the waves necessary in order to make things work. Shazam is in that front line, and now they've got so little to go. This is not for the W, but they have to make this work if they want to get their name on the map. And oh no, this is gonna be huge. They can't get out of there. Oh, the sound barrier comes on in, and they're pushing their way on in. The high noon comes out. Sheeps gets Xanthoxin, and here comes a hack. That's gonna be absolutely huge and detrimental. That manages to get him, and oh my god, Nasif Khan is swinging for his life. He's the only one left on point, and he just can't seem to make it. There's just so much damage coming his way, and Aether is still alive in this set.
I love the change you see in how teams play at the end of this map. You go from having this huge, vastly open map to a million ults going off in this tiny little area. And that was a beautiful finish. And now both teams are going to get over a minute to push this.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Aether is losing in terms of the time bank, but if they can...
Time bank doesn't matter.
Time bank does matter.
They got this. They got this. No, they got this.
That's a fight. That's a fight and a half right there.
I believe in them.
Hey,
they're gonna make that time bank not matter.
Alrighty, and you know what? Let's go with that prediction. Let's see if Aether can muster up what they just showed us. And mind you, they held it at just barely overtime. They just barely managed to push it to point A, got that 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and ran it all the way from there.
They did. A big thing for them was Sips came out and just absolutely blew the enemy away on the Sombra and disrupted them enough that was the big change. That's what they needed.
Yeah, that is. They managed. Sips T really critical on those hacks. Really important in terms of finding his DPS target and really getting them down. That's extremely important. So here,
and so versatile in what he can play too.
Right? Now you really want to have people with very versatile hero pools. Really lets you decide on very distinct team compositions. So the battle is going to start off underway, and Lucifer looking to jump on in and cause some disruption against Nat. So they've got to be careful, as Aether looking to try to push their way in. O.C.C, though, with these hacks, doing some ridiculous work. Shazam has got to be careful because Dank Monkey is no one to be fooled around with. Mars has got to back out. He does not want to risk fighting that Tesla cannon, but great job from Nat, able to land that pick. And she's looking to finish off K10. That's a good solid flick here, and she's going to be showing us her skill set here. But that's going to be O.C.C getting into that heavy flank, realizing he does not need to stay in a losing fight.
Absolutely. You know, OwOSA came in with the comp they started the last time with, and I guess they didn't anticipate that the enemy would expect it, and they were not expecting the Sombra, and she's up in their face, getting the right hacks.
Oh, and there goes
I think they can push this all the way.
She does have that ultimate available, and it's going to be extremely critical. Here she goes, going for the setup. Oh, but Mars sends it back! Sends it back! Unreal! That's going to be the finish here of a century. Great job for Mars, managing to take him out. And here comes the Steve Khan. Is going to be boosted. Ruby might be in some terrible danger, but Shazam does come back. And now he's pushed his way on in. Finds Zentoxin. Oh, and that's not good. They're pushing their way. The Steve Khan does get taken out. And Mars is the last bastion of hope here for the team. But he is hacked. And that's going to be absolutely huge. The stun does come on in. And now they're pushing this overtime. Drips looks to try to get these ultimate. And that's going to be a quadruple kill. Drips is going to be the hero of the map here. K10 getting kicked off. And that's going to be the end of that push. Unreal. Drips getting that quadruple at the end of that push.
I am in shock. That was a beautiful fair ult. I was not expecting that at all. I was expecting that point to get where it needed to go and to go all the way, and then Drips just drops out of the sky, and I don't even have words.
I almost jumped out of my seat.
I did too.
my dogs are looking at me like, what just happened? What are you doing, man? But it was,
that was beautiful.
It was incredible play. Aether was making their way forward. They almost had it, and Drips getting that ultimate from behind. And those were huge plays. Mars able to send back the high noon into Sheeps, and then Drips being able to land the quad kill at the end, getting the boop on K10, stopped that offensive push at just the right time. However, it is going to be extremely important that Aether gets these picks. They can still make it. It's not that far, but it's still a possibility, and they're going to sacrifice a tank for it.
They are, but you know what? A lot of people don't know how Sim can be used in a situation like this. Going against such a mobile comp, having turrets in the right places can not only slow down the enemy, but can also alert you to flankers like a Nassif.
Like a Nassif.
I'm not even going to call it a hamster. It's a Nassif.
It's a Nassif. And that's going to be absolutely huge, so they can figure out, you know, I like this. They're spreading out a little bit, but Nat does manage to land that pick here on K10, and that might be the end of that. Nat looking to get out of there, manages to get out with her life, and K10 getting taken out. It's going to be huge. And it looks like Lucifer is putting his turrets in a little bit more of a very, standard area. Good job there by Nat, and this is going to be extremely important for her to really try to land these picks. Mars does land that pick here, and Lucifer's got to be careful. Shazam does get taken out, and Mars has got to be careful, gets taken out by O.C.C. That turret is able to cause so much damage, and Mars does get taken out. K10, here they go. Nassif Khan in a bad spot, does get completely deleted, and here they go. They're continuing on in this fight. Drips has got to be careful, and they're going to make use of these turrets. Great job here from Aether.
You know, when you see Symmetra turrets or Symmetra teleporters so close to each other, a lot of times people don't think to destroy it, but it allowed Lucifer to get in and get out and do a lot of damage.
Alrighty, so it's going to be Shazam looking to put the pressure on Nat. Nat can't seem to find the angles that she's really, really looking for, and they've got to really work together and stay close. Nassif Khan does switch over to the Hog, but I think that's just too much damage coming on in onto the Street Pig. And now we're coming into the final seconds. They may be able to save this with Ruby being the very reason why they're still alive. The pick does come out here on ships, and the molten core does come out. They do manage to bring him back, and that's going to be some literal melting to death. Nat is still looking for a pick, getting taken out by the sheeps, and they've only got so much to go. The ultimate does come out here from Drips, and great job there for whoever's left on OwOSA, able to stay alive and make this work. Ooh, and here comes the shield. They've got this. They can make this, but they've got to do some crazy work in order to make these things work. And the ultimate does come out here from Mars, and they might be able to lose this. This is not looking good. K10 does get taken out, and now we're going into the final fight. They've got to move on in, but no, Shazam looks for a heavy disruption, but he's got to be careful. That's the entirety of the team throwing in as much DPS as humanly possible. Nat building herself in that front line, looking to take him out. Mars does manage to get that pick, and they're losing this time. Sips T goes on out, and they're pushing, getting closer. They're getting further, and Lucifer has no health. The ultimate comes out from Zentoxin. Oh my god, Sheeps does manage to pick up two, and Mars managing to take her out. This is gonna be the end of the rope here, folks, and they can't seem to figure it out. And OwOSA goes off with the full row sweep tonight.
You know, we saw both teams using so many ults, but ultimately the team that ulted last held out and was able to push it to the end, and that's a big play. A lot of teams come in and they ult too early, thinking that they have time or thinking that time is up, and ultimately it costs them the fight.
Yeah, I think what Jupiter's saying is absolutely true. I think Shazam should have waited before trying to get into that fight. Had he waited, they could have initiated one final 6v6, but...
Absolutely, and with the team coming in as a backup, the boops that he was making against the enemy team off the point could have been more effective.
Yeah, it could have, should have, and would have, but we are at the end of the show. So, great job here from Aether. Great job here from OwOSA. And what I love is that Aether stayed in the game. They didn't give up. They pushed themselves, and I love seeing that from a team. I really do. And there were some solid plays. There really were coming in on the side of OwOSA, or on Aether, but OwOSA honestly was just showing up. They came in, and you could see their strats were really working. So here we are at the end. For those of you in the virtual crowd, please give us a hashtag for who you think your player of the match is. Amara, who you got?
Oh my, I don't know. I want to give it to the Pharah. I do. I have to give it to Drips. I have to. I don't want to because it's too obvious, but I have to. It was just beautiful plays on everything that Drips played tonight. But I also have to give it to K10 because of the versatility that we saw on the different characters that K10 was playing.
Fair enough, fair enough. I am also going to give it to Drips, or it's Drips. Great job using all of his abilities, just a different, proper hero pool, switching it up, good Pharah play, good Zarya play. I mean, he was obviously a really good benefit to...
Good gameplay.
Yeah, good benefit to the team. Honestly, though, OwOSA was just playing really fluid, really together. There was just this cohesiveness that they had in terms of how they moved, in terms of how they played. And Aether, you could feel that, because Aether, some of the members used to be on Void, so a lot of them still have that synergy. But I don't know what OwOSA's doing in terms of...
You have to expand it to the entire team.
Yeah, that's the thing. You could see some of them that could really work really well, and then just sometimes some of the pieces just aren't clicking as well as it should, and that really hits it a problem. So, Jupiter giving love here to Drips, a little bit more love here to Drips. Yeah, we're seeing some love here for the Drips himself, and it's really about all I'm really seeing. So, we have hit the end of the show, and folks, I do want to thank you. I do also want to thank the followers here for the night. Particularly the raid, those of you cheering, it's extremely important. And as we're starting to grow and really move on in, later on we will have some really, really exciting news for you guys. We don't have anything set in stone just yet, but just know that we, as part of the admin team, are currently working and doing everything we can in order to make this whole community more exciting, give you guys more to do, more to enjoy, and really, we really need your support. So whatever you guys can do, if you want to donate some of your time, if you want to donate some cash to us, almost everything goes right back to you guys in terms of new graphics, in terms of giveaways, in terms of just about anything that we can do for you guys, because really we are this really weird, large, multi-country dysfunctional family, but damn it, it works and I enjoy it. So If you want to be a player, go ahead and fill out the subscription or fill out the application down below. If you don't want to be part of a team, go ahead and fill it out anyway, and you'd be more than happy to join us as a community member. If you are Grandmaster, Master, or above, go ahead and fill out the coach application. We are still working on those high tier, on those extremely high tier teams. So don't fret, we're getting there. We're working on it. And if you'd like to be part of the stream team, please go ahead and fill out the application for that, or go ahead and let me know so you can do what myself, Boot, and Amara do in terms of running the show and really, really giving viewers something to enjoy. So, as I say always, please tell your mom, dad, sister, grandma, uncle, that weird freaky lady down the road with like the weird bug eye, let her know to come on down. Really, everything that we have, the support is really, really needed, and it's important. So, Amara, do you have anything to add before we leave?
What kind of neighbors do you have, Loutrex?
Hey man, there's people of all walks of life. It happens. I think I have an aunt with like a.
Right
like a-
on.
she's got like a bug eye. You know what I mean? I love her to death. But,
Yeah, whatever.
so, with that in mind, thank you guys once again. I have been the Loud T-Rex,
I'm Amara.
and Boot has been running as the game host. Thank you, Boot, once again. And for all of you who are watching this night, have a good night, and we'll see you guys on Monday.